Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be doing another story time, and this one is going to be a little crazy, I'm not going to lie. So trigger warning, if you're a little sensitive or you just don't like this topic, I suggest going off the video, because today I'm going to be talking about this guy, and I don't know if I can say this word on YouTube. So he was a P3do, okay? If you don't know what that means, ask someone in the comments, okay? So I'm gonna give this man a name because I don't want to keep saying a P3do and stuff like that, and I might mess up, but just remember that he was a P3do, okay? So he we're gonna give him a name, obviously, and we're gonna call him Dan Schneider. So I might call him Dan or Schneider, or just Dan Schneider, because if you guys don't know, actually we're gonna call him Nickelodeon. I feel like that's easier because all the things that's going on with Nickelodeon right now, because this man, he like feet, okay? And Nickelodeon, everybody knows what was going on with Nickelodeon and the feet stuff, you know? So we're gonna call him Nickelodeon. And yeah, let's get into this story time. Also, I'm gonna be hotboxing this shit, so you know, if you got a little blunt, make sure you spark that up, and let's get this started, okay? So I'm gonna give you guys a little background, okay? So I catfished a P3do, okay? So basically how this started is in 2020, obviously COVID and everything happened, and that's when I got my first job. I got my first job in 2020 because I was finally 16 and I was happy, you know, and my first job was Sonic. So my first job was Sonic, but I only worked there for like a month. I got fired, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, so after that, I got fired in like February or like March. It was a little after Valentine's Day, but I got fired from there. So I was used to not having money because obviously that was my first job, and you know, I wasn't used to getting money on a consistent basis because I never had a job. Sorry y'all, but I was used to not having money, so I wasn't too pressed. But then COVID happened, and during COVID I was getting like a lot of suggestions on YouTube, because everybody, like, I don't know if you guys know this, but that was like peak sugar baby time, okay? So there's a lot of side hustle going on. Like, I would get a lot of YouTube videos like how to be a sugar baby, how to sell feet pics, how to do this, how to do that. And since it was COVID, you didn't have to meet up face to face, because you could just be like, I don't want to meet, it's COVID, you know, I'm concerned for my family. Or okay, sorry y'all, there's just a lot going on, something's happening. But because it was peak COVID time, like I said, it was easy to get a sugar baby. Easy to be a sugar baby because you could just be like, oh, I don't want to meet because of COVID. And you could talk to people from different states, because I'm in Virginia, so you could talk to somebody from California and be fine because nobody was meeting up anyway. So people wasn't, like, the old men, they were more willing to talk to people in around the world, you know? So I was getting like a lot of suggestions on YouTube, like how to make fast money, like selling feet pics or being a sugar baby, like an online sugar baby, and you don't have to give up any sugar. And because I didn't want to do sex work, I don't want to do sex work, and I was just like, oh, like I don't have to obviously have sex with these men because I'm not going to meet up with them. And first of all, I was a minor, I was 16, so just be careful. This is not a suggestion for anybody to do any of this. This is just telling my story. But my bad, I'm trying to spark this up, yo. This thing is not sparking. There we go. Let's get this shit started, okay? So there's this one guy I specifically watched. I think her name was like code name Chanel or something. Or it was something like that. Chantel, something. I don't know. But I would watch her a lot. So then I started going on like Tinder. I started going on like Hinge, Bumble, and I would try to become a sugar baby, but I used a fake account. I used this white girl. I'm not gonna use her face. I'm not gonna put her face in the video because I do still have the pictures that I used of her. I was catfishing as a white girl because I was like, I feel like she's gonna get more like play than me, you know? And I didn't want them to ask, like, I don't know. I was just being a white girl because I thought that was more marketable, you know, especially towards old white men. So I just picked like a pretty blonde girl, you know, and I was catfishing on Tinder and stuff like that. And I found like multiple guys, but it was really hard. I'm not gonna lie. It's easier said than done. And at this time, I had an Android. So it was like, I really wanted an iPhone. You know, I'd never had an iPhone before at that point, and I really wanted an iPhone. So I was like, I didn't have a job, and I was doing this, and I was like, I want to save enough money so I can get an iPhone. So I did manage to get one sugar daddy, okay? And I used a fake number and everything. I used a text now number, and he would send me like $150 a week. But I was a white girl, and they would want some nudes. So I used to go on Reddit, and I used to screenshot on all the sex pages, and I used to send them the nudes, and I would try to like get pictures that kind of looked alike, or I would keep the same person. Like if they're posting on Reddit, like I would just follow their page and then just screenshot what I needed to and send it to them. And then if they were like, oh, I want to FaceTime or something, I'd be like, I have an Android, you know? So I used to be like, if you want, you can give me an iPhone and shit like that. But like, they weren't trying to do that, you know? So I was like, I'm just gonna have to save my money because I really want an iPhone. Like, I really wanted an iPhone, you know? I was like, I like taking pictures, like I look pretty, like, and I feel like the Android is not gonna be enough because when you post on Instagram with the Android, it like, the quality is not as good. Like, everybody can see that you got an Android because of the emojis and shit like that. So I was just like, I really want this iPhone. So how am I gonna get this? So then I was on Snapchat one day, and like I was like selling feet pics or whatever, and I would try to sell feet pics, but I was like, that's kind of embarrassing to be trying to sell feet pics. So I stopped that. But some guy messaged me, and he was like, hey, if you like, I'll send you money if you send me some feet pics. I'll buy some feet pics from you. And I was like, oh my god, like this is my chance to get like some money, you know, like, oh my gosh, I really want money, you know. Remember, I was 16, so this was a while ago. So I was like, I made the stupid mistake. If you are gonna do this, which I don't suggest, well, if you want to, you can, but if you are gonna do this, never send the pictures first. And my stupid 16-year-old self, who shouldn't have even been doing this, sent the guy pictures of my feet before he sent me the money. So then right after he saw it, he was like, oh, it's so pretty. So I was like, okay, here's my cash app, cash at me. And guess what? He removed me off of Snap. He unadded me, and I was just like, what the fuck? And I was so pissed. I was like, damn, like I just sent this man my feet pics and he didn't give me the $5, you know? So I was like, what the heck? And I was like really pressed. I was like this nigga, oh my god, he didn't give me. And this was a white guy, okay? So it wasn't a nigga, but he was a white guy. But I was like, oh man, I didn't get my $5. I didn't get my $10, you know? So I was like, what the heck? So then after that, I made my white girl. Her name that I had for her, I named her Leah Ford, okay? So Leah Ford, that's when Leah Ford really came to life. Like before, I was just doing it on Tinder, Hinge, Bumble, and shit like that. But I was like, Leah is about to come to life. So I saved his Snapchat username, and I made another Snapchat, and I made it Leah Ford, and I made it the white girl, like the white girl that I picked, the blonde hair girl. Like I was like, Leah has came to life. So I added him on Snapchat. And I was like, let's do this shit, like it's time. So he obviously accepted my follow, or like he added me on Snapchat, and he was like, we were talking for a little bit, and I was like, yeah, like I want to start like selling feet pics and stuff like that. And I told the person, I don't know why, for this Leah girl, I told the guy that I was 16, you know, like for Leah, like I was actually 16, but I even said, as the Leah girl, as the white girl, I was like, I'm 16. And remember, the guy that I'm texting, this is Dan Schneider, okay? The first sugar daddy that I had, that's not Dan Schneider. I keep calling him Dan Schneider. Nickelodeon. The guy that I'm texting currently is Nickelodeon, okay? So the guy who scammed me out of my feet pics is Nickelodeon. So I was messaging him and shit like that, and I was like, let's text on, like, give me your number. Let me text your number. And I'm 16 years old, and he was like, I'm fine with that. And I forgot how old he was, but he was definitely a grown man, and he sent me a picture of himself. He was like a 30, 40-year-old white man, and he was cool with talking to a 16-year-old. Even though it wasn't me, technically I was 16, and I told him the character that I was playing was 16. So I was messaging him and shit, and I really wanted the money, you know, and I really want him to send me money. So I was like, you know what, let me do this. I was like, hey, like, let's make an agreement, because he was clearly all horned up, and I was like, hey, let's make an agreement. How about I send you like 10 nudes a day, and you'll pay me $400. I was like, if you give me $400, I will send you 10 nudes a day. Because before that, when we were texting, I already sent him a couple feet pics, and he actually paid. Like, as the white girl, he actually paid. So like, after I seen that he was like for real sending me money, I was like, okay, let's make a deal. I was like, I'll send you 10 nudes a day, like feet pics and nudes, and you send me $400. And I was like, I'm gonna get him. And guess what he said? He said yes. He was like, yes, I'll send you the $400. And he sent me the $400. And like I said, I had the other sugar daddy that from Tinder who was sending me $150 a week. And after a while, he stopped sending me $150 a week. But at that point, I already had like a couple $100. And the guy, when Nickelodeon sent me the $400, I had enough to get me my first iPhone, bro. This is not me promoting anything to tell girls to do this, because I would not do this, because it was really weird. The guy, I would not suggest doing this, because this man, he was hella weird. Like, I would have to send him those 10 nudes a day, like, which I really did not. I should have not said 10 nudes a day, because he really, like, that's why the only reason I said that was because I knew if I said I'll send you 10 nudes a day, he would definitely send the money, because he was such a, you know what, that he was like, this girl is willing to give me all these nudes. And I said I said 10 nudes a day for a month for $400. And he knew that was a deal, and he was like, I'm getting like free stuff from a minor, you know? He was like, I'm getting this shit, like, of course I'm gonna send that money. And that's why I said that. But I do not suggest doing that, because he would want to talk in between, and I would have to do a lot of searching, looking at a whole bunch of women's bodies and shit like that. It was just really uncomfortable. But he told me some messed up stories, I'm not gonna lie, and I don't even know if I can repeat it, but like, he told me some nasty shit that I've never forgot. He said that when he was like young, when he was like in his like, he was like 11 through 13, he would go over to his neighbor's house, because him and the neighbors were friends and stuff like that. And he said that he would go over to the house, and like, they had a 5-year-old daughter, and they started like doing stuff. And he was like like I said, 11 through 13. I don't remember what exactly, but he said he started messing with this 5-year-old. And I would just have to listen to that, and I really feel really wrong, because I'm just like, man, like, I did all that for an iPhone, you know? But it was just like, you know, it was just really weird. And he was just like I think he said that they got caught, and even after they got caught, they would still like, he would still go over there. And I was just like, I was like, that's really weird. And he's like, yeah, and as I got older, like, I just kept doing stuff with like he likes like girls who are like 14, like, I would say, no, from 12 to like 16, 17. And I remember like he would send me pictures and be like, these are the girls I messed with and shit like that. And I honestly should have told the police, but I was just like kind of scared, because I was just like, man, like, I'm catfishing this guy, and like I'm catfishing him, and I'm like getting money from him, you know, like, and I obviously wasn't sending him pictures of minors. These were people on Reddit. These were like clearly grown women, and I would crop out the face and just be like, oh, you know, like, I don't want to show my face, you know, like, because obviously that's stupid, you know, I just don't want to do that. But he would be fine with it. Nickelodeon would be fine with it. And after a while, when he started like sending me pictures of like girls and like telling me stories and shit like that, after that, I couldn't take it. I could not take it anymore. I was like, I can't do this shit. I was like, I cannot do this shit anymore. Okay, so then after that, I was like, I can't do this shit anymore. Like, I have to end this shit. And by the way, the phone that I got, like, the iPhone that I got was XR. So when he sent me the $400 and the other guy sent me like the multiple $150, like this XR at the time was like $600 or something dollars. So I ordered that. I ordered the phone, you know, because I was like, I have enough now, you know. So then after that, I could not take it anymore. When I finally had my last straw, I was like, I cannot keep talking to this man, and I can't keep sending him. I was like, I cannot last 30 days trying to send Nickelodeon 10 nudes a day. I was like, I can't do this anymore. So finally I texted him and I was like, Nickelodeon, like, I'm in trouble. And he's like, what's wrong? And I'm just like, my parents, they went through my phone and they seen that, like, me and you texting, and they're so angry, they're so mad, you know. And also by that time, like, since I was like this young girl who was willing to like do whatever he said, I asked him one time, I was like, can I have your Snapchat? You know, like, can you send me like the login and shit like that? Because I'm like, we're in a relationship, right? Like, can I have your Snapchat password and shit? And you know what? He sent it to me. So when on his Snapchat information through the settings, I got his first and his last name. And I was like, my parent. And so when I was texting him, I was like, my parents, they seen our messages and they're so mad. And they said, if you don't send them $500 right now, they're going to the police. And they have your first and last name. So if you don't send me $500 right now, I'm like, they're going to the police. So he sent the $500 because obviously, as someone who's doing that, something wrong like that, obviously he does not want to go to jail. And obviously jail, like, they're not gonna mess with that shit in jail. They're not gonna like you because obviously you're a weirdo. And I shouldn't have extorted him, but I don't know. Like, I was young. I was 16 at the time. I was pretty stupid. Like, even though 16, you should kind of know better, but I really wanted the money, you know? And it was COVID, and I was just like, I really want the money. Like, I can't get a job at this point, you know? So he sent them $500 immediately, and then, like, I cut ties with him. And I did not, like, text him or anything. And I wish I had the messages, and I wish I still had everything, because I would be like, this man kind of needs to be put away. Not kind of, definitely needs to be put away. And I'm just like, oh, like, I can't believe I did that. Like, I just really wanted my iPhone. And my parents, when they were just like, how did you, like, get this iPhone? And I told them, hopefully my parents don't see this. Oh, hey. But they were just like, how did you, like, get an iPhone? And I had a boyfriend at the time, which I did not tell my boyfriend, which this was a while ago. We been broke up, which I don't know. Y'all, like I said, y'all can judge me if you want, but this was like, this is heaven years ago, you know. But well, my parents, they were just like, how did you get this? Now, just like, my boyfriend, you know, he loved me so much, and he bought me an iPhone, because my boyfriend was also older than me. My boyfriend was 2 years older than me, so I was like in the 10th grade, and he was a senior. So he was like, so he was 2 years old. You know, he was like a year and some months older than me, something like that. But yeah, so I just told my parents, I don't even know if they believed me or not, but I told my parents, I was just like, yeah, my boyfriend, he bought me the iPhone, you know, like, he you know, he just really loved me. I'm so happy. And then when I broke up with him, they were just like, you should give that boy back his iPhone. You should give him back his iPhone. And then I was just like, how am I supposed to tell them that I'm not giving him back the iPhone, because it's my iPhone, you know, I work for this, you know, I, like, endured a lot for this, you know, which obviously it was wrong, obviously, but I was just like, I just told them, no, I'm not gonna do that, like, what, you know. But I was just like, y'all, you don't even know what's really going on. But y'all, do not do that. Don't do that. I feel like maybe I shouldn't even post this story time. Now that I'm, like, telling, like, the full story, I'm just like, child, heaven, you should not have been doing that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Don't catfish, and just don't. Okay, so I'll see y'all later. Thank you guys for watching, and bye.